Welcome. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at this Llano wireless HD transmitter and receiver kit. So this is provided to me by the distributor, but they're not compensating me for this video and they're not reviewing it before I post it. If you find this video helpful and you want to purchase one of these, I'll put a link to it in the description, and if you use that link, it helps me out a little bit and doesn't cost you anything extra. So let's get this open. So it has some notes here, you can pause and read through those. Here we have the transmitter receiver. This is a USB-A to USB-C cable. And here we have an HDMI cable. Below that we have a USB-C to USB-C extension cable. And we have a manual. Let's take a quick look at it. So here we have the manual. I'm not going to cover everything in it. We have the different parts. So this has USB-C ports and also has HDMI. To hook up to the receiver, you want to plug in HDMI to the receiver, plug the other end into your TV or monitor, and then plug power into the receiver with USB-C. And then you can plug that power into your TV or a separate power source. And then a screen will come up. You connect the transmitter to your laptop or tablet. Now this can also be used as a wireless receiver, so you can cast to it using Android or iOS. It says press the receiver button to switch between landscape and portrait mode. And here are the specs. It supports 1080p, 60 Hz. So let's try this out. The two parts here, it says RX and TX. And they come apart when you can store them together like so. Has a little tether on it. So the transmit has a port on here, so you can plug into this to power your device while this is plugged into it. So if you have this on a tablet, you can plug in and power your tablet. Now on the other device, we have the power port and the HDMI cable. So it does come with HDMI cable and the power cable. Now this HDMI cable is a little bit short. This would be perfect for plugging into the back of a TV, but I'm going to be plugging into a monitor today, so I will use the power cable. And the monitor I have does not have USB power on it. It's a little bit older monitor. So I'll just use this USB power station, but you can use a phone charger. I'm guessing even the smallest ones would work just fine. So to hook it into my monitor, I have an HDMI cable. I'll plug in the back there. I'll plug that USB-C power into the side, and I'll plug that in here. Now you could use a portable power bank like you charge your phone with for this too, if you're doing some kind of portable setup. Now this does not show it's taking any power. Yeah, so it probably takes very little power. Well, I'm not saying maybe 0.12, 0.9. Yeah, it uses very little power. Okay, so now we have the monitor up. We have some instructions on here. So let's try connecting this to my iPad. So I'm using an iPad Pro with M4 processor. I'll plug this into the bottom. Now I do have a case on. We'll see how this works with my case. A little bit tight with the case, but it did plug in. It says accessory connected. And here we have the screen up. So this is Chrome browser. I'll turn it sideways so I can open up a web page here. That comes up so we can see it on my iPad, and you can see it's mirroring the screen. So that was super easy to set up. I just essentially plugged things in and it worked. If I rotate this, it will switch the orientation automatically. Let's see what works with this. So I'm in Netflix, and I can't show this, but I'll try it out. So it does not seem to work with Netflix. And this is not uncommon. It can be difficult to stream something like Netflix from an iPad. I'll try Prime. So Prime does not seem to be working either. Let's try YouTube. So YouTube does seem to be working. So if you want to stream from YouTube, I think you'll be good there. Other commercial streaming services will likely not work. Now we can also view presentations. So I have Keynote up here. I'll hit display on my iPad. So now we're displaying the presentation, and on my iPad it has kind of a little command console, so I can go between the different screens here. I only have two here, but you can see it's showing full screen here. So if you plug this into a projector, you can then stream to it and then have your presentation on your iPad. So it's very convenient. So let me try this on a laptop now. So here I have a MacBook Pro with M4 processor. So I'll open this up, and I have USB-C ports on both sides. Any of these should work. I'll just plug in over here. So it's raised off of the bench just a little bit. You could maybe put a little piece of cardboard under there. My screen says allow accessory to connect. I'll hit allow. It says, what do you want to show? Entire screen, window or app, or extended display. So here I can mirror my screen, or I can extend the screen. So let's just do entire screen to start. So here I'm mirroring the screen on both systems, just like I was on the iPad. Now I could go into my system settings, and I'll go to displays, and I'll go to arrange, And I'll drag these apart, or they change this here maybe. I need to turn mirroring off, I guess. And then I'll go to arrange. I'll put this above it. Okay. So now this is a separate display. So you can see I can drag it up top. I could also say create a second window and put it up there. So if you want a wireless connection for display of your external monitor, this is a great option. Now if you're in a boardroom, you could pass this around and someone could just plug it right in their computer and their screen could come up and you could switch it to the next person if you're doing multiple presentations. And like I said, this is being powered from the computer itself. Now this could also be attached with this little tether, so we can pull this out and plug that in. And then this can plug in if you don't want it directly plugged into your computer. So this could be good if you have, say, a Mac Mini or Mac Studio and you want to plug it in on the front. This would have to be up and down. Well, you can't do that, but this cable here will twist easily. So you can just have that to stick into your Mac Studio or Mac Mini. Now we can also send video directly to this. So if you pull up your control panel, you can click on the little mirror icon here. And on mine I had to hit show more, and then I'll just hit the Llano. Now I'll enter in the digits. And now we're paired wirelessly without anything connected to this. So this works just the same as before, but it's streaming directly from the iPad to the receiver. So if you plug in, it just connects automatically. Otherwise, you can do the wireless mirroring. It's nice that it gives you both options. So that's the Llano wireless HD transmitter and receiver. I really like the compact package of this. You put these together, they take up very little room. Now you do need a power cable at least for one. And then you can use the HDMI cable that came with it or a different one, and it has a little extender. But this would be great for a travel bag. It takes up very little room. This would work well in a hotel if you want to hook up to the hotel TV. You could use it in a conference room. You could use it in an office. You might have a monitor that you use with a desktop computer, but you also want to use it with a work computer. You could keep this connected up to your monitor and then just plug this in to use that monitor instead of running a cable. So that's all I'm going to cover in this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.